Kronic 92.2. 92.2. The Kronic. Drive-by radio. 92.2. The Kronic. Stillwater's Drive-by radio. 92.2. The Kronic. In your face. 92.2. The Kronic. The Kronic 92.2. Drive-by radio. Kick it. Jam on it, Stillwater 92.2. The Kronic. The Kronic 92.2. Drive-by radio. Your only choice for hip-hop in Stillwater. 92.2. The Kronic. More of your all-time favorite hip-hop jams. Stillwater's 92.2. The Kronic. Pure hip-hop all the time. Stillwater's 92.2. The Kronic. Hip-hop on the radio and nothing else. Stillwater's 92.2. The Kronic. The music. The music. The music that smokes you. Stillwater's 92.2. The Kronic.
Get familiar, it's Clinton Sparks on the Kronic 92.2 Inside the Globe from Airborne Audio on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar, it's Drive-By Radio. My man M. Saeed with help from High Priest. They are Airborne Audio and Inside the Globe on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, it's the Kronic 92.2. Let me tell you something about me, okay? I basically bagged every hot chick in Stillwater. Believe that. Inside the Globe from Airborne Audio on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar, Clinton Sparks, Drive-By Radio. You hear that, parrot? Alright, that was me. Airborne Audio and Inside the Globe on the Kronic 92.2. I am your hero. Airborne Audio and Inside the Globe on the Kronic 92.2. I have it right here. Airborne Audio and Inside the Globe on the Kronic 92.2.
Yo, Clinton, you got to play that Airborne Audio for me, dog. I saw them at Freaknik last year, and they were slamming.
Well, then let me recreate your experience in the ATL. Drive-By Radio. It's Airborne Audio and Inside the Globe on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, it's the Kronic 92.2, and I tell you, the girl knew how to bounce. It's Bounce Like My Checks from Aisha on Drive-By Radio. Rest in peace, baby girl. Clinton Sparks, Drive-By Radio, Stillwater's own superstar, the late, great Aisha with Bounce Like My Checks, only on the Kronic 92.2. It's the Kronic 92.2, and it's Bounce Like My Checks from our own Aisha on Drive-By Radio. She's paying the bills with the Angels now. Get familiar, it's Drive-By Radio, straight out of Saints Row. That's my girl Aisha with Bounce Like My Checks, only on the Kronic 92.2. Here it is, Stillwater's own Aisha with one of her biggest hits, Bounce Like My Checks on the Kronic 92.2. Rest in peace, girl. Get familiar with this. Big shout out to the whole Saints Row and all my girl Aisha's fans everywhere. Here's your girl by request. It's Bounce Like My Checks from the late great Aisha on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, Clinton Sparks. It's the Kronic 92.2. The girl knows how to bounce. It's Bounce Like My Checks from Aisha on Drive-By Radio. You still rocking with Drive-By Radio, and that's Stillwater's own superstar, Aisha, with Bounce Like My Checks on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, it's the Kronic 92.2, Bounce Like My Checks from Aisha on Drive-By Radio. Hard to believe that girl ever had a problem paying the bills, though. It's Drive-By Radio from Saints Row. That's my girl, Aisha, with Bounce Like My Checks, only on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar. Grab onto this. Shout out the whole Saints Row. Here's your girl by request. Bounce Like My Checks from Aisha on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, it's Stillwater's own Aisha representing with Bounce Like My Checks on the Kronic 92.2. Ladies and gentlemen, I go by the name of Clinton Sparks. You now rocking with the Kronic 92.2, and this is Leave That Hoe from Stillwater's legendary baby girl, Aisha, on Drive-By Radio. It's Drive-By Radio, Aisha with Leave That Hoe on the Kronic 92.2. You know she may be gone, but her words live on. Leave that hoe. Thanks for checking in. Here's Leave That Hoe from our very own Aisha by request on the Kronic 92.2. Appreciate the call. Check it out. Here's Leave That Hoe from our very own Aisha by request on the Kronic 92.2. Hey fellas, you got problems with your girl? Well, our own Aisha's got some advice for you on the Kronic 92.2. It's Leave That Hoe on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar, Clinton Sparks on Drive-By Radio. Aisha laying it down from right here in Saints Row with Leave That Hoe exclusively on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, it's the Kronic 92.2. Leave That Hoe from Stillwater's baby girl Aisha on Drive-By Radio. Hey man, she's asking nicely. You still rocking with Clinton Sparks on Drive-By Radio. It's Aisha with Leave That Hoe on the Kronic 92.2. You know, if a man sings that song, it's an entirely different command, don't you think? Thanks for calling. Here's Leave That Hoe from our own Aisha by request on the Kronic 92.2. Yes, it's Aisha throwing down with Leave That Hoe only on the Kronic 92.2. Hey fellas, you got problems with your girl? Well, our own Aisha's always had great advice for you on the Kronic 92.2. Remember this joint right here. Leave That Hoe on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar, it's Drive-By Radio. The late, great Aisha laying it down with Leave That Hoe exclusively on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, you now rocking with Clinton Sparks on the Kronic 92.2. And we about to blast off Don't Fuck Me Like Your Wife from our own legendary hometown baby girl, Aisha, only on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar, Drive-By Radio, off of Kingdom Come Records. It's your girl, Aisha, with Don't Fuck Me Like Your Wife, exclusively on the Kronic 92.2. We'll never have another voice like this in Stillwater. Get familiar, it's the late, great Aisha, only on the Kronic 92.2 with Don't Fuck Me Like Your Wife on Drive-By Radio. No doubt, this is for you. Never forget the message from my girl Aisha. It's Don't Fuck Me Like Your Wife on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, it's the Kronic 92.2. Don't Fuck Me Like Your Wife from hometown girl Aisha, only on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar. Get familiar, you still rocking with Clinton Sparks on Drive-By Radio on Kingdom Come Records. It's your girl Aisha, and it's Don't Fuck Me Like Your Wife exclusively on the Kronic 92.2. Listen and learn, my man. Somehow, I don't think he's got a bad deal. It's the Kronic 92.2, and it's Don't Fuck Me Like Your Wife from Aisha, making some noise from down in Saints Row on Drive-By Radio. It's Drive-By Radio. Get familiar. She put Stillwater on the hip-hop map. It's our own Aisha with Don't Fuck Me Like Your Wife on the Kronic 92.2. It's Drive-By Radio, straight out of Stillwater and loving it. It's your girl Aisha with Don't Fuck Me Like Your Wife on the Kronic 92.2. 6 other people asked me for this joint. It's Don't Fuck Me Like Your Wife from our own Aisha on the Kronic 92.2. 6 other people asked me for this record already. Don't Fuck Me Like Your Wife from our very own Aisha on the Kronic 92.2. Well, get familiar. This one's for you. It's my girl Aisha with Don't Fuck Me Like Your Wife on the Kronic 92.2.
Hey, Clinton, I wish more guys would understand that you just handle your business and get out of my house.
Really?
Yep. I ain't making you breakfast. No watching my big screen. Just get out.
Perfect. Then we got your theme song right here on Drive-By Radio. It's Stillwater's own Aisha with Don't Fuck Me Like Your Wife on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar.
Hey, Clinton, I want to request Don't Fuck Me Like Your Wife.
What's your name, man?
Not so sure I want my wife, if she's listening, to hear that. I requested that song.
Did you know we have caller ID here at the station, Ralph? Drive-By Radio, Aisha, in your face with Don't Fuck Me Like Your Wife on the Kronic 92.2. It's the Kronic 92.2. Everything's a go from Bathgate on Drive-By Radio. It's Drive-By Radio, and get familiar, there's 3 versions of this on the EP, Bathgate, and Everything's a Go on the Kronic 92.2. It's the Kronic 92.2, and they just got this joint over at Scratch That off the Supreme Clientele label. It's Everything's a Go from my man Bathgate on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar. One half of Fats and Bathgate on Drive-By Radio, Bathgate and Everything's a Go, the flow on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, Everything's a Go from Bathgate on the Kronic 92.2. This I do for you. Bathgate and Everything's a Go on the Kronic 92.2.
Hey, the Kronic, I gotta tell you, that Bathgate must be a dog.
Why would you say that?
Have you heard those answering machine tracks on his CD?
You know, I have actually, and she really blasts him. And I'm thinking, what does someone have to do to get your girl that mad at you? Everything's a Go, the flow from Bathgate on the Kronic 92.2.
Well, hello. Would you mind playing me some of that rap music that I seem to enjoy?
Ah, so you like rap, huh?
Yes, well, it's been in my blood since I was born in the Boogie Down, old chap.
Then how about I get you familiar with some Billy Bathgate?
Splendid, splendid.
Drive-By Radio, by request, you heard it yourself. Bathgate and Everything's a Go on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, you still with Clinton Sparks on the Kronic 92.2. Crumbs from Bisque One on Drive-By Radio. It's Drive-By Radio from under the streets in New York City. Bisque One and Crumbs on the Kronic 92.2. It's the Kronic 92.2 from the Basics EP. Get familiar with Crumbs from Bisque One on Drive-By Radio. Drive-By Radio, you think Bisque One is short for biscuit? Crumbs on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar. Well, we got that for you. Crumbs from Bisque One on the Kronic 92.2. It's what I live for. Bisque One and Crumbs on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar.
Hey, Clinton. That Bisque One sounds like he could freestyle anywhere, anytime.
Well, he is a notorious battle rapper, and he just won the Whose Rhyme Is It battle in New York. The Kronic 92.2. Get familiar. Crumbs from Bisque One on Drive-By Radio.
Hey, I want some serious, straight-up New York flavor.
Well, get familiar. Drive-By Radio, Bisque One, and Crumbs on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, Clinton Sparks on the Kronic 92.2. Hood Lullaby from the Black Market Militia on Drive-By Radio. It's Drive-By Radio, Killer Priest, Tragedy Gaddafi, Timbo King, and Hellraiser, the Black Market Militia, and Hood Lullaby on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, it's the Kronic 92.2, and if you sing that song to a baby, I guarantee it's not gonna fall asleep. Hood Lullaby from the Black Militia Market on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar. It's Drive-By Radio. We got Wu-Tang and the Wu-Tang affiliates on that one, the Black Market Militia and Hood Lullaby on the Kronic 92.2. Sir, yes sir, the Black Market Militia and Hood Lullaby on the Kronic 92.2. You got that. Here's the Black Market Militia and Hood Lullaby on the Kronic 92.2.
Clinton, I am so tired. You got something I could fall asleep to?
How about this? The Kronic 92.2 is Hood Lullaby from the Black Market Militia on Drive-By Radio. Sweet dreams.
Hey, Clinton, I work down here at Eye for an Eye, and someone was in here earlier asking about you. I hope you didn't make nobody mad.
Well, hey, man, I have been getting some pains in my leg recently.
You know, I could do something about that to help you. You got any of that BMM jam?
Of course, get familiar, Drive-By Radio. It's the Black Market Militia and Hood Lullaby on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, it's the Kronic 92.2. Beautiful train wreck from Copyright on Drive-By Radio. Drive-By Radio, pulling no punches. Copyright and beautiful train wreck on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar. It's the Kronic 92.2. Same shit, different toilet. Beautiful train wreck from Copyright on Drive-By Radio. Drive-By Radio, Columbus owned Copyright and beautiful train wreck on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar. Of course, I got you covered. The Kronic 92.2. Beautiful train wreck from Copyright on Drive-By Radio. No doubt. Drive-By Radio, Copyright and beautiful train wreck on the Kronic 92.2.
Yo, Clinton, you got that copyright track?
I do. Let me ask you, are you beautiful or are you a train wreck?
Beautiful all the way.
Well, then all aboard. It's the Kronic 92.2 Beautiful Train Wreck from Copyright on Drive-By Radio.
Hey, Clinton, I'm down here at Rim Jobs getting my ride tricked out.
They're turning your beat ride into a complete ride?
You know it. Help out a brother and play some copyright.
Of course, all for you. Drive-By Radio. Copyright and Beautiful Train Wreck on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar. Get familiar, it's Clinton Sparks, and you now rocking with the Kronic 92.2. Saints Row from my man, David Banner, only on Drive-By Radio. Listen up, you Mississippi hoes. You rocking with Drive-By Radio. That's my man, David Banner, with Saints Row on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar. It's the Kronic 92.2. Damn, they're talking about Stillwater in that joint right there. Saints Row from my man, David Banner, on Drive-By Radio. Exclusive on Drive-By Radio. He's a real OG, and he's a nice guy, too. That's my man, David Banner, and it's Saints Row on the Kronic 92.2. That right there was an exclusive for Drive-By Radio by my man, David Banner, one of the hardest working people in the music business, representing Saints Row right there on the Kronic 92.2. Say the word, Saints Row by my man, David Banner, only on the Kronic 92.2. Yes! David Banner, Saints Row, exclusive on the Kronic. Get familiar, 92.2.
Hey, Clinton, I live here in Saints Row, and that David Banner song, it ain't that bad. I mean, I only been shot once.
Hey, girl, you might want to duck. It's the Kronic 92.2, Saints Row by my man David Banner, only on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar.
Clinton, who does David Banner think he is, running down Stillwater like that? Where's he from that's so nice, huh?
Man, he's from Mississippi.
Oh, like Mississippi's nice.
Well, I don't think you have a Los Carnales putting a foot in your ass in every corner, so, yeah. Only on Drive-By Radio, David Banner, Saints Row on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, Clinton Sparks. It's the Kronic 92.2, and we got a new joint called Get Out My Way from Daz Dillinger, only on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar, it's Drive-By Radio. This is the kind of joint right here you imagine the leader of the 3rd Street Saints just listening to, rocking out. Daz Dillinger and Get Out My Way on the Kronic 92.2. I would like to suggest that you get out his way. Only on the Kronic 92.2, Get Out My Way from Daz Dillinger on Drive-By Radio. What am I going to do? Perhaps a strongly worded letter to my alderman. Yeah, okay. Drive-By Radio, Daz Dillinger, and Get Out My Way exclusively on the Kronic 92.2. Daz Dillinger and Get Out My Way exclusively on the Kronic 92.2.
Hey, Clinton. You think Daz Dillinger's friends call him Double D?
But more important than that, do your friends call you that? Hello? Hello? It's the Kronic 92.2, Get Out My Way by my man Daz Dillinger, only on Drive-By Radio.
Hey, Clinton, I'm just on my way to the gym to work on some things. Do you have anything that sounds like, I don't know, murder?
Yeah, I think I got something like that. Here's a needle to the heart. Daz Dillinger and Get Out My Way, only on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, Clinton Sparks. It's the Kronic 92.2, and we got Rock Cocaine Flow from De La Soul on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar, it's Drive-By Radio, the opposite side of the world for me, myself, and I, De La Soul and Rock Cocaine Flow on the Kronic 92.2. It's the Kronic 92.2 from the CD The Grind Date. It's Rock Cocaine Flow from De La Soul on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar, Clinton Sparks. It's Drive-By Radio, and it's the old school meeting the new school out of Amityville. De La Soul with MF Doom, and the joint is called Rock Cocaine Flow on the Kronic 92.2. Take this and eat it, all of you. Rock Cocaine Flow from De La Soul on the Kronic 92.2. Well, get familiar with it. It's De La Soul. The joint is called Rock Cocaine Flow on the Kronic 92.2.
Hey, Clinton, I grew up on De La Soul, and my kids jam on MF Doom.
Then it just makes sense that you're rocking with the Kronic 92.2. Rock Cocaine Flow from De La Soul with MF Doom, guesting on Drive-By Radio.
Hey,
Hey, Clinton, what's the deal with De La Soul's members all having their names backwards?
What about it?
Well, like, when MF Doom signed on to do Rock Cocaine Flow, did he sign in as FM Mood?
Man, put down the pipe before you hurt yourself. It's Drive-By Radio, De La Soul. The joint is called Rock Cocaine Flow on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar. You need to be careful with the bass on this joint right here. It's the Kronic 92.2, and it's Man Up from my man Ghostface on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar, Clinton Sparks, Drive-By Radio. We got a new joint, my man Ghostface. It's called Man Up. Remember where you heard it first? Exclusively on the Kronic 92.2. Where else are you going to hear that joint? Nowhere. Only on the Kronic 92.2. It's Man Up from my man Ghostface, exclusively on Drive-By Radio. Man up! Good advice for anyone in Stillwater, especially those of you in Saints Row. Drive-By Radio, Ghostface, Man Up on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, it's Ghostface. The joint is called Man Up on the Kronic 92.2. This is exactly what you want right here. Ghostface, Man Up on the Kronic 92.2.
Hey, Clinton, you got that Ghostface track?
Which one?
That Man Up jam?
Of course I got that for you. Only on the Kronic 92.2. Man Up from Ghostface on Drive-By Radio.
Hey, Clinton, that song, Man Up, does he say Saints Row up in there?
Yes, he does.
As in Saints Row and Stillwater?
Hell yeah, you know things are out of control when Ghostface is familiar with what's going on in your town. Exclusively on Drive-By Radio, it's my man Ghostface with Man Up on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, Clinton Sparks, you now rocking with the Kronic 92.2, and it's Hurry Hurry from Strong Arm Steady featuring Exhibit exclusively on Drive-By Radio. Our airwaves are about to get pimped. Only on Drive-By Radio, Strong Arm Steady with my man Exhibit. It's called Hurry Hurry on the Kronic 92.2. If you're going to make it, you got to hurry, hurry. The Kronic 92.2, and that's Hurry Hurry right there from Strong Arm Steady featuring Exhibit on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar, it's Drive-By Radio with Strong Arm Steady and my man Exhibit ripping shit up with Hurry Hurry only on the Kronic 92.2. This is for you. Hurry Hurry from Strong Arm Steady featuring Exhibit exclusively on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar. Absolutely. Strong Arm Steady with Exhibit and Hurry Hurry by request on the Kronic 92.2.
Hey, Clinton, is that Exhibit on that Hurry Hurry track?
Yes, it is.
I love him.
Well, here it is for you, only on the Kronic 92.2. Hurry Hurry from Strong Arm Steady with your man Exhibit on Drive-By Radio.
Hey, Clinton, is Strong Arm Steady coming to Stillwater anytime soon?
Not that I know of.
Well, could you play Hurry Hurry? And if he comes, is he bringing Exhibit with him?
Man, one question at a time. How about we just play the joint first? Exclusively on Drive-By Radio, it's Strong Arm Steady with Exhibit, and the joint's called Hurry Hurry on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, it's Clinton Sparks on the Kronic 92.2. We're going to blast off with What Up from Ken Starr on Drive-By Radio. You still rocking with Drive-By Radio, and on the indie label Half Tooth, Ken Starr and What Up on the Kronic 92.2. It's the Kronic 92.2, and that's from the compilation CD You Don't Know the Half. It's What Up from my man Ken Starr on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar, Drive-By Radio, and that right there is the self-proclaimed MC's MC out of DC, Ken Starr with What Up on the Kronic 92.2. You're going to love this. It's What Up from Ken Starr on the Kronic 92.2. I got exactly what you want. It's my man Ken Starr. The joint is called What Up on the Kronic 92.2.
Hey, Clinton, I love that Ken Starr.
You do? Well, you know he's been doing this since he was 10 years old, right?
Me too.
I'm not sure we're talking about the same thing here. It's the Kronic 92.2. What Up from my man Ken Starr on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar.
Hey, Clinton, what up?
What's up with you, man?
Chilling.
Is there something I can do for you, a request, a shout-out, something?
Nah, I'm just chilling.
Yes, the perfect listener, ladies and gentlemen. Not too demanding, just likes what he hears. Get familiar, it's Drive-By Radio, Ken Starr, and What Up on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, Clinton Sparks on the Kronic 92.2. We about to blast off a joint called Shake It from Little Brother on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar, it's Drive-By Radio. We got Fonty, Pooh, Little Brother with Shake It on the Kronic 92.2. From the compilation CD, OK Player, True Notes Volume 1, the Kronic 92.2, it's Shake It from Little Brother on Drive-By Radio. Clinton Sparks, Drive-By Radio, Little Brother with Shake It right there, not to be confused with the Shake It from MC Shy D from back in the day. All my old school heads, you know what I'm talking about. All yours on the Kronic 92.2. I got no problem with that. It's Little Brother with Shake It on the Kronic 92.2. Of course, get familiar. It's Little Brother with Shake It on the Kronic 92.2.
Hey, Clinton.
Oh, damn. You ready to take it?
What?
Just don't fake it.
Clinton?
I don't want you to break it. I want you to shake it. The Kronic 92.2. Shake It from Little Brother on Drive-By Radio.
Hey, Clinton, I want you to play that jam Shake It for my girl Becky.
Becky?
Yeah, Becky.
All right, all for Becky. Drive-By Radio. It's Little Brother with Shake It on the Kronic 92.2. What up, Becky? Get familiar, it's Clinton Sparks on the Kronic 92.2. Nightlife from MED on Drive-By Radio. It's Drive-By Radio, totally West Coast. MED with Noel, and the cut is Nightlife on the Kronic 92.2. It's the Kronic 92.2, and get familiar, we got an exclusive right here on the show, Nightlife from MED on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar, it's Drive-By Radio, and we got Oxnard's own MED with Noel, and the song is called Nightlife on the Kronic 92.2. You know, I actually been to Oxnard, and it's a beautiful place to get shot. Man, I'm feeling this joint, Nightlife from MED on the Kronic 92.2. Here you go, MED with Noel. This joint is called Nightlife on the Kronic 92.2.
Hey, Clinton, who is that girl singing with MED on Nightlife?
That is Noel from The Rebirth.
I told you so. I told you.
Well, I'm glad to help. It's the Kronic 92.2 Nightlife from MED with Noel on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar.
Hey, Clinton, I'm down here at Scratch That, and I wanted to know what CD that Nightlife joint was on.
It's on the CD, Push Comes to Shove. Get familiar with it.
Thanks, man.
Here, this will help you zone in on it. Drive-By Radio, MED with Noel. The joint is called Nightlife on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, Clinton Sparks on the Kronic 92.2. Money Folder from Mad Villain on Drive-By Radio. It's Drive-By Radio, the ultimate mashup. Mad Villain and Money Folder on the Kronic. Get familiar, 92.2. Get familiar, it's the Kronic 92.2. We got my man MF Doom and Mad Lib combining forces. Money Folder from Mad Villain on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar, Clinton Sparks. And that's an acquired taste right there. Drive-By Radio, the MC pair, Mad Villain and Money Folder on the Kronic 92.2. I got that. How about a little Money Folder from Mad Villain on the Kronic 92.2? Stand back and allow me to get you familiar. Mad Villain and Money Folder on the Kronic 92.2.
Hey, Clinton. Who's the bigger genius? Madlib for his lyrics or MF Doom for the beat?
I don't believe either of their levels of genius is in question. They, together, are a super genius. You, on the other hand...
Hey!
Get familiar, the Kronic 92.2 Money Folder from Mad Villain on Drive-By Radio.
Hey, Clinton, you know that mask MF Doom wears? He must sweat like a motherfucker in that. Is his head small from all that sweating? Does he have a tiny head? A tiny little doll head?
Man, are you done? Guess so. Drive-By Radio, Mad Villain featuring the normal size head of MF Doom and Mad Lib, whose head is slightly larger than normal, actually. And Money Folder on the Kronic 92.2. It's the Kronic 92.2 DTD from Master Killer featuring Ghostface Killer and Raekwon, only on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar. It's Drive-By Radio from No Set Date. Master Killer, Ghostface, Raekwon, and DTD on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, it's Clinton Sparks on the Kronic 92.2. Last of the Clan out of the box with a solo album. That's DTD from Master Killer on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar, Drive-By Radio. We got 2 more members of the Wu with my man Master Killer, Ghostface, and Raekwon. The cut is DTD on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar. Oh, Master Killer and DTD on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar. Nothing I'd rather do. Master Killer and DTD by request on the Kronic 92.2.
Hey, Clinton, is the Wu-Tang Clan ever going to get together again?
You know, with ODB gone, you'll never witness the Clan together again. But when one Wu member does a project, others always seem to show up. It's the Kronic 92.2, DTD from Master Killer with Ghostface Killer and Raekwon on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar.
Hey, Clinton, I bought that new RZA book. What's up with the rest of the Clan?
Well, here's what 3 of them are doing. Drive-By Radio, Master Killer CD, and DTD on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, Clint Sparks. It's the Kronic 92.2. And we got John 316 from Mathematics featuring Method Man on Drive-By Radio. It's Drive-By Radio, and from his second solo CD, The Problem, Mathematics featuring all surviving members of the Wu-Tang Clan with John 316 on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar. Clinton Sparks on 92.2, for he so loved the Kronic 92.2. He gave us John 316 from Mathematics featuring Method Man on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar, Drive-By Radio, Mathematics featuring Method Man and John 316 on the Kronic 92.2. That's from the CD, The Problem. And the problem he talking about is black-on-black violence. In Stillwater, it's everyone on everyone violence. They don't care what color you are. You're going to get fucked up. Get ready. How about Mathematics featuring Method Man and John 316 on the Kronic 92.2? Listen to The Message, Mathematics featuring Method Man and John 316 on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar.
Hey, Clinton, I want to hear that John 3:15.
You mean John 3:16?
I thought it was John 3:15.
You
know, he loved blah, blah, blah.
John 3:15 is know your scriptures. The Kronic 92.2, John 3:16 from Mathematics featuring Method Man on Drive-By Radio.
Hello, Mr. Sparks. This is Rodney calling from Saints Row. Can we all just get along?
Man, I hear you, brother. Hey, Rodney, don't drive too fast. Mathematics featuring Method Man and John 3:16 on the Kronic 92.2 Drive-By Radio. Get familiar with us, suckers. It's the Kronic 92.2, chipping from Quasimodo on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar, it's Drive-By Radio. This is a side project for Mad Lib, Quasimodo, and Chippin' on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, it's Clinton Sparks on the Kronic 92.2 out of Oxnard, Chippin' from Quasimodo on Drive-By Radio. No, you can't get that on either of the first 2 CDs. An exclusive on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar, Quasimodo and Chippin' on the Kronic 92.2. You got it. How about Chippin' from Quasimodo on Drive-By Radio, the Kronic 92.2? Anything to get you off my phone. Quasimodo and Chippin' on the Kronic 92.2.
I got to tell you, I love that Quasimodo. His high voice is so sexy.
You got it. The Kronic 92.2, Chippin' from Quasimodo on Drive-By Radio.
Hey, Clinton, you got that Quasimodo thing chipping?
You like that track?
Oh, yeah, it's ripping.
Is this for you and your girl?
Oh, my girl's tripping.
So you just kicking back then?
Yep, me and the boys just doing some sipping.
Okay, well, this could get out of here real fast. Drive-By Radio, Quasimodo and Chippin' on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar. Get familiar, Clinton Sparks on the Kronic 92.2. New music by my man Rhymefest. It's called Shut You Down, only on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar, Drive-By Radio, Rhymefest, Shut You Down, only on the Kronic 92.2. Oh, Shut You Down by my man Rhymefest on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar with it. We're the Kronic 92.2. Look what you're up against. Only on Drive-By Radio. That's Rhymefest and Shut You Down on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar with us, suckers. Get familiar with this one. It's Shut You Down from Rhymefest on the Kronic 92.2. Hell yeah, I will. It's Rhymefest and Shut You Down on the Kronic 92.2.
Hey, Clinton, can you kick that Rhymefest joint for me?
Oh, you mean like one of the most requested records that we have here at the Kronic 92.2? Of course I can. It's Shut You Down from Rhymefest on Drive-By Radio.
Hey, Clinton, Can you shut me down with some rhyme fest?
Get familiar. The song is called Shut You Down.
I don't care who you shut down. Just give me some rhyme fest.
Only on Drive-By Radio. Rhyme Fest and Shut You Down on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar. It's Clinton Sparks on the Kronic 92.2. And we about to hit y'all with Spitomatic from Voodoo Magella on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar. It's Drive-By Radio and going solo after his work with Vast After Cannibal Ox. Voodoo Magella with Spitomatic on the Kronic 92.2. It's the Kronic 92.2 Spitomatic from Voodoo Magella out of Harlem on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar, it's Clinton Sparks, it's the Kronic, it's 92.2, and that joint is Spitomatic from Voodoo Magella. Man, I can't even hardly pronounce this guy's name. He's out of Harlem, and it's on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar with it. If you insist, Spitomatic from Voodoo Magella on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, Voodoo Magella with Spitomatic on the Kronic 92.2. Hello? 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 Man, she must have fallen asleep on hold. Somebody answer them phones. This'll wake her ass up. The Kronic 92.2 Spitomatic from Voodoo Magella on Drive-By Radio.
Yo, Clint. I just picked up a car at No Vin. That guy's crazy.
Man, I like Vinny. Of course, I'm not going to buy a car from Vinny. That would change our relationship. Drive-By Radio, Voodoo Magella with Spitomatic on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar, it's the Kronic 92.2, Gotta Pay from Wordsworth on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar, Clinton Sparks on Drive-By Radio from the CD Mirror Music, Wordsworth and Gotta Pay on the Kronic 92.2. Does that guy ever breathe? The Kronic 92.2, Gotta Pay from Wordsworth on Drive-By Radio. Get familiar. Get familiar, Clinton Sparks on Drive-By Radio, and you get your money's worth when you get this pack. 20 cuts on the CD, Wordsworth and Gotta Pay on the Kronic 92.2. You need something dark and wet? Gotta Pay in Wordsworth on the Kronic 92.2. As a matter of fact, yes, I can. Wordsworth and Gotta Pay on the Kronic 92.2.
Hey, Clinton, I got a man that just sits around watching TV and never takes me out.
So, are you still letting him smash?
That shit stops today. And I want you to play that Gotta Pay song for Herman.
Hey, Herman, you want some of that? Then you gotta pay, man. It's the Kronic 92.2, Gotta Pay from Wordsworth on Drive-By Radio. And I'm available when I get off the radio, by the way.
Hey, Clinton, can you play me a jam?
Gotta pay.
Exactly.
Exactly what?
Gotta pay.
Right.
No. That's the jam. Gotta pay.
No, man, no. If you want that jam, you gotta pay.
Man, I am broke like a joke.
All right, man, I'll bill you. Drive-By Radio, Wordsworth, and Gotta Pay on the Kronic 92.2. Get familiar. Now here's Jack Armstrong with the 92.2 News. And now a bulletin from Jack in the 92.2 Newsroom. Over to the 92.2 Newsroom, and this from Jack Armstrong. Time for the news from the 92.2 Newsroom. The news now from the 92.2 Newsroom. Here's Jack. Drive-by weather. Gloomy day today. Not the day to be working on that tan. And more of the same tonight. Drive-by weather. Gloomy day today. Not the day to be working on that tan. And more of the same tomorrow. Drive-by weather, slick roads, lots of splash, and Stillwater drivers still don't know what to do when it rains. We've got a traffic report on the way during the news at the top of the hour. Drive-by weather, cats and dogs out there, people. It's raining heavy all day today into the night and continuing through tomorrow afternoon. Careful of that black ice on the higher elevations outside the city overnight. Drive-by weather, we told you this was going to happen. Did you grab your slicker? How about your rubbers? Not those rubbers, man. Come on. Rain on the horizon and temperatures falling for the next few days. Drive-by weather. I bet you got your car washed yesterday, didn't you? Yup, that's exactly when it drizzles, right? Pretty much the word for the day is wet, continuing into the night. Drive-by weather, light rain on and off all day today. Not gonna completely ruin your picnic, but might make you run for cover every now and then. Just like this all afternoon. Drive-by weather, Doppler radar showing a fine drizzle all over the city. Could develop into something heavier, but it's a bit too soon to tell. Grab that umbrella just to be sure. Drive-by weather, the rain is rolling in, so slow it down out there. And remember, don't use your brights. More of a hazard than a help. Drive-by weather, rain, rain, and more rain. Take it easy out there and don't get in the way of other drivers. Drive-by weather, just what we needed. Rainy all day and evening and then clearing up in the morning. Be careful out there. Drive-by weather, partly cloudy, chance of rain about 50-50 and more of the same tonight. Drive-by weather, partly cloudy, a chance of rain about 50-50 and more of the same tomorrow. Drive-by weather, this is the kind of weather that leads to disaster. If you don't have to be out and about, then don't. If you're out, get inside. Lightning flashing all over the city and outages have been reported everywhere. We'll have more details in the news at the top of the hour. Drive-by weather. Mama said there'll be days like this. An electrical storm over the city right now, wreaking havoc with traffic. And hey, that golf game is just gonna have to get tougher. Drive-by weather. Power lines down due to the lightning storm. Weather word is flashy. Stay in your car and get out of open spaces. Drive-by weather like the inside of a dome stadium, isn't it? Gorgeous weather tonight and tomorrow. Drive-by weather, clear skies, calm winds. It's so nice out, I think I'll leave it out. Drive-by weather, just an absolutely beautiful day out. Sunshine, clear skies, just the kind of day to play hooky, a long lunch, or take a drive in the country. A nippy 48 in Stillwater. 56 in Stillwater. 59 in Stillwater. 63 in Stillwater. 68 degrees in Stillwater. 72 in Stillwater. 75 in Stillwater. 81 in Stillwater. 85 degrees in Stillwater. 90 degrees in Stillwater. Drive-by Radio 92.2, The Kronic, this Clinton Sparks, what's going on? Drive-by Radio 92.2, The Kronic, this Clinton Sparks, what's going on? It's The Kronic, what's going on? Drive-by Radio 92.2, The Kronic, it's Clinton Sparks, what's going on? The Kronic 92.2, Clinton Sparks, what's going on? Drive-by Radio 92.2, The Kronic, it's Clinton Sparks, what's up? The Kronic 92.2, Clinton Sparks, what's going on? Hey Stillwater, it's The Kronic 92.2, what's going on? Hey Stillwater, it's The Kronic 92.2, what's up? Stillwater, it's The Kronic 92.2, what's going on?
Clinton Sparks, man, I love you. Oh, homie, you gotta play me my song. Kronic, am I on the air? 92.2, Kronic? Oh my God. Could you play me my song, please? Oh my God. Oh my God, I can't believe I got through. I've been trying every day for like a year, and I got through. Oh my God, would you please play me my song, spin me a tune? You guys roll. I love Kronic 92.2. You guys are the best. Oh my God, Clinton Sparks, you're my favorite. Would you do me a favor, honey, and play me my song? Oh my God, Clinton, I love you, man. You gotta play me my song. Hook a sister up.
Hi, Clinton, honey. I love you. Play me something. I love the Kronic 92.2. What you have for me? Something good? Yes, I got through to the Kronic. Spin me a tune.
I love the Kronic 92.2. What you got for me? Something good? Yeah, I got through the Kronic. Spin me a tune. Yes, I got through the Kronic. Roll me a jam.
Clinton, you the man, dog. Play me a cut. Clinton, you my nigga. Play me some, fool. Clinton, you the man. I need a song. You got it going on up in there. Now play them tunes, fool. The Kronic 92.2. Wow. You guys are awesome. Play me a tune. The Kronic 92.2. You heard? You fools are awesome. Play me a tune. The Kronic 92.2.
Clinton, roll me a joint, man. Clinton, I dig you, man. I need something. Yo, Clinton, slide me a tune, dude. Hey, Clinton, may I please request a song?
You guys are awesome. Roll me a jam, the Kronic 92.2. Whoop, whoop.
Hey, man, can you...
Hands in the air.
Hold up. Sorry about that. Now, can you play some Aisha for me? I love that shit. My crew in the row wants to hear some Aisha. What you got? Yo, my girlfriend's a big fan of Aisha. Can you, hook her up? Yo, my girlfriend's a big fan of Aisha. Can you, hook her up? Yo, hit me up with some Aisha. I need some drive-by music.